Hey VC, what's up? It's me, yours truly. Back to post a quick video here. This is actually a video response to someone I haven't chatted with in quite some time, which is the Mr. and the Mrs. Memphis Vinyl Gym and the Mrs. They recently posted a video here and kind of threw a little contest at the end of it, which is so awesome and so great to see you guys back. I haven't had a chance to chat with you in quite some time. It's always great to hear your voices and to see you guys. So that was pretty awesome. Matter of fact, I was so excited about it. As soon as I saw it, I was like, okay, I have to do this right now so I don't let it drag on into a day after day thing and blah blah blah. So this is going to be my response to their 1-2 punch contest, which is basically, you know, freshman, sophomore releases that you felt were a good kind of 1-2 punch. I just saw LJ's response and cracked me up as always. And I think he had a good way of approaching it too, about just kind of looking at albums that really kind of stayed on the same, like the first album is just a continuation of the second. And so for the most part, I kind of did that, but you know, there might be a few might be a little different, but anyway. I also tried to pick things that I thought maybe everybody wouldn't end up grabbing. I mean, like there's some stuff, you know, like the first 2 Maiden albums, and you know, I mean, I leave going on and on. Like he mentioned Zeppelin as being, you know, potentially one. First 2 Skynyrd albums, those are ones I was going to pick, and LJ did those as well. So I thought, let me kind of dig through some of the sections of stuff that maybe a lot of people won't show, won't talk about, or whatever, and just kind of, you know, make an effort to go dig into that. So that's kind of what I did. So let me just kind of jump right into it here, because I have a few. A couple of kind of some core basics here of ones I just felt like have to be mentioned. And the first 2 here definitely have to be mentioned in this conversation, which is the Black Crowes, Shake Your Money Maker, and then Southern Harmonies. I mean, just in general, these are 2 of the best albums. I mean, when it just comes to, and actually I'll put it this way, because I know I've said it in probably, not exaggerating, at least 5 or 6 other videos I've done. I've mentioned this before, but I bought a Black Crowes Greatest Hits CD one time, and there was a sticker on the front that said, the most rock and roll band of all time. And I think, again, I'll say it again, I think that fits them so well, and these 2 albums really sum up, I mean, just the essence of that old Southern, you know, just gritty type rock and roll, which is, I mean, great, soulful, bluesful, yes, rock and roll vocals and everything. But these are just 2 fantastic albums right here. So on the first one here, of course, you got stuff like Twice as Hard, Jealous Again, Hard to Handle, She Talks to Angels. I mean, all just great tracks right there. Set these over here. Then on the second album, you know, Sting Me, Remedy, Thorn in My Pride. I mean, just great stuff. Matter of fact, out of all these albums, that might be my number 1-2 punch of any band. But let me move on. I won't spend as much time on each one, but I had to get some good stuff in about the Crowes there, because they are awesome. Oh, this was playing in the background, by the way, in case you're curious. Curtis Mayfield, There's No Place Like America Today. Good stuff right there. Great stuff. Alright, let's move along. Another good 1-2 punch combo, at least in my opinion. Sinead O'Connor, The Lion and the Cobra. And of course she followed it up with I Don't Want What I Don't Have. Again, I've always disliked her a lot for a lot of her views on life and a lot of other things too, but I never let that stand between how I feel about her as just an artist. And these 2 albums were definitely a great 1-2 combo for her. Alright, let's move along. Another one that has to be mentioned, I mean, AC/DC, Dirty Deeds, and High Voltage. And it's really not fair with AC/DC, because you could take any of their albums and, I mean, like like what LJ was saying about albums kind of fitting together and really kind of, you know, staying on the same plane. I think pretty much AC/DC's entire catalog is that way. Because again, something I've repeated a number of times in the past, I'll say it again. The thing that makes AC/DC so consistent, you can take any song off of any AC/DC album and move it to another album, even outside of the same decade, and I guarantee it'll fit in, and someone who's never really heard AC/DC before would not tell it's out of place. That's how freaking consistent these guys have been. But so that's one I definitely have to say. And maybe, well, I won't say that, but another good one here, Motley Crue, Too Fast for Love, and then of course Shout at the Devil. I think they stayed pretty darn consistent in that, and those were two very, very good albums right there. So that's a great back-to-back. Hold on one sec. Okay. Here's one maybe you didn't see coming. The Go-Go's. I mean, come on, We Got the Beat. Admit it or not, you love that song. I know I did. So you have that, and then you had Vacation right after. And I think, you know, We Got the Beat and Vacation and a number of other songs, I mean, they really kind of stayed in tandem. Those are a very good 1-2 punch with my girls there. And then over, kind of slipping to the hip-hop a little bit. Again, something we don't see a ton of here in the VC, but EPMD, Strictly Business. Song for song, I think one of the best hip-hop albums of all time. This one actually made the Rolling Stone magazine top 500 albums of all time. And then the follow-up was Unfinished Business. So it went from Strictly Business to Unfinished Business. And same thing, great album there, great follow-up. Definitely a good continuation of Strictly Business. Let's see, what's next? Can't forget the Boys. I mean, gotta pay homage to one of the groups that started it all. Run DMC. You know, Rock Box, It's Like That. I mean, great stuff. And of course, when they came right back with King of Rock, I mean, come on. Again, two of the best hip-hop albums of all time. Another artist that deserves a lot of credit. Came out with the debut, Ice Cube, America's Most Wanted. This was huge back when I was in high school. Played the heck out of this right here. And then, of course, his sophomore release was Death Certificate. And he had, this played right off of America's Most Wanted. Matter of fact, I think he took it up a notch with Death Certificate. So, really good stuff there. Another album that maybe you, or artist you might not be as familiar with, but one of my favorite artists from the 80s R&B scene, Cherelle. She used to also do a lot with, what's his name, Alexander O'Neal, another artist I really like from the 80s R&B scene. But, yeah, just kind of that, you know, R&B, somewhat dance, just upbeat type stuff. She did a really good cover on this album of I Didn't Mean to Turn You On. You know, kind of like the Robert Palmer, I was going to say Arnold Palmer, the Robert Palmer song. Like, it's known by him. I don't think he actually wrote it, but anyway, she did a good cover of that on here. And then her follow-up here, which is another very, very good album. This is High Priority, which probably has my favorite song by her on here, which is You Look Good to Me. And again, it's kind of more that upbeat dance stuff, as well as a great slow jam with Alexander O'Neal where she did a Saturday Love. And that's a groove and a half right there. So definitely got to put Cherelle in that mix. And while we're on this, let's go ahead and stick with the ladies. Give it up for my girl, Sheila E. Glamorous Life. You know, she always did that, can't really call it R&B. Always called like an upbeat Latin percussion / R&B type thing is what she always did, in my opinion. That's what I felt when I listened to her. And this was Glamorous Life, which of course was her big single, her debut there. And then she came back with Romance 1600. But you can tell that's when she started to date or hang around Prince, which is very clear. Which is not shocking, too, that Prince did some of the background vocals on the song Love Bazaar, which is definitely my favorite song off of here. And again, Love Bazaar also kind of carried on that whole, said, Latin percussion dance type thing with some R&B flavor thrown in. So I thought Sheila nailed it on these two albums as far as a 1-2 punch. And again, might not be everyone's favorite artist here, but I think it's hard to deny her as being one of the best vocalists of all time, whether you like her music or not. Whitney Houston. And this is the self-titled Whitney Houston right there. Definitely has my two favorite songs by her on here, which is You Give Love, or You Give Good Love, and Saving All My Love for You. Hated those songs when they first came out when I was young. Of course, it's back in the mid-'80s, so I'm, you know, what's love? I want to rock and roll, you know, that type of thing. But as I grew older, man, I really loved to appreciate the beauty of those songs. And, you know, two very, very good tracks. But so that's Whitney Houston there. In case you're wondering what that is, too, that's the little, you know, whenever an artist passes away, I'll write a little note on the back like this, just kind of, you know, putting down my thoughts of what was going on that day when they passed away. So it's kind of something cool to, you know, look back on in the future. But that's Whitney there. And then she had a really good follow-up. That's Whitney Houston. And then her follow-up was Whitney, which again, you know, I Want to Dance with Somebody, Love Will Save the Day. So she really kept right in step with what she did on the first album. So there's Whitney with a good 1-2 punch. Those were huge albums too. Next, go to my boys. Love these guys to death. Love them to death. I'll just jump right into it. Fat Boys. Enough said. Fat Boys. Back when rap and hip-hop was what it was supposed to be. Oh my goodness. So this is Fat Boys Are Back, which was their debut, which songs like the Fat Boys Are Back. And then their follow-up, which I believe is just self-titled, Fat Boys, which probably has my favorite song, my favorite two songs by them, which is the song Fat Boys and Don't You Dog Me on here. So this was a great album. I actually felt they took it to another level with this one. Yeah, I love the Fat Boys, man. And then we just got two more here. Again, trying to pull out some stuff that maybe people haven't shown as much in the VC. But This Will Destroy You. Some really good stuff here. Really nice 2 LP set too. It's on, one's on black vinyl, and then the other is on if I can get it there. It's like clear green vinyl. Has weird stuff written in the dead wax. If I can talk straight. Weird stuff written in the dead wax on the albums there. But yeah, just, I mean, kind of really good stuff. In case you've never heard these guys before, they're you know, no vocals or anything. It's what do you call it? I'm going totally brain dead. Holy cow! Blah. I'm totally going brain dead. I'm sorry, guys. But anyway, really, really good album here. That was their debut. Then they followed it up with This Will Destroy You, Tunnel Blanket, which is also a good album. So if you haven't heard them before, definitely check them out, especially this one. I really like this one a lot. So This Will Destroy You. Very, very good stuff. So that was a good 1-2 combination. And last but not least, a band that I discovered not too long ago, maybe a couple years ago, Wild Nothing. This is Gemini. Very, very cool stuff. Love every song on this album is absolutely great. Great melodies, great kind of, you know, flowing harmonies and that type of thing. And then they just followed it up with Wild Nothing, which came out in 2012, I believe. And it picked up right where that left off. Those same just wonderful melodies. Every single song on this album is likable. And actually, I say that about both albums, which really makes it pretty amazing, actually. But so there you go, VC and Memphis, Vinyl Gym and the Misses. That's my response to your 1-2 punch as far as great freshman and sophomore albums. Again, let me know what you guys think. I tried to pick some stuff that maybe a little bit different and not just kind of the same old, same old. So anyway, thanks for watching as always, and we will talk to you guys soon. All right, take care, VC.